right. Hello, everybody. This is Nicole Whitlock with eCom Sellers. And this is the eCom Sellers Mastery Print on Demand workshop or course series. This is a 90-day course series. I'm excited about it because we're going to take a deep dive into print on demand and discuss and talk about all things print on demand related. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So a little bit about us, about me. My name is Nicole. I am the co-founder and the creator of eCom Sellers. I've been selling online since 2014, been selling offline since 2008. I am a single mom of 2 special needs teens, and I'm the vice president of a nonprofit. So I stay very, very busy. I do run my own e-commerce business as well. So it just keeps me a little busy, and we're going to get into a lot of stuff. So during this class, I always want to say this, and I say this in a lot of the mastery classes, like there's no guarantees or promises. Your results are based on your effort, your decisions, and your work. I do want to encourage you to put in the work, to put in the effort to do it, because the reward at the end of the day is going to be amazing. So with that, let's talk about what's going to happen in this particular class. So this is a quick overview. So for the next 12 weeks, we're going to have 11 sessions. Originally, there was 10. I added an AI session. I think there's going to be massive value in the AI session because it's going to take your automation of your e-commerce business to a completely different level. So the first part is that each session is going to be at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time on Thursdays. And that is as of the time of this recording. So if you're listening to the replay or you have acquired the course, then your sessions will be at your own pace. And you can, if you are participating live, you can go at your own pace as well. So that is just fine for you to go at your own pace if that's what you prefer. So we're having a session today, and then we will not have a session next weekend. The following weekend, the 23rd and the 30th, or not weekend, but Thursday, we will have sessions, and then we will skip the first Thursday in April, and then the rest of the sessions will be back to back, with our bonus session being on June the 1st. So they're always on Thursdays. Weeks in which we won't have a session are 3/16 and 4/6. So if you want to mark those on your calendar, just a reminder to you. Also, you should not receive an automated Zoom notification on those dates because of the fact that I've deleted those already. So it shouldn't send out a reminder, but it should send out a reminder for all the others. All the sessions are being recorded in Zoom, and paid members will have access to those recordings. So the recordings will be added to the paid membership site with restricted access to just this series. So if you purchased any other print on demand series or any other eCom Sellers Mastery classes, you'll see a separate section for print on demand mastery, a separate section for print on demand mastery. The recordings will be uploaded within 48 hours by my amazing VA, Laria. And so she will get those uploaded so that you have access to them. In addition to that, there will be some assignments for you. So this first one, there's not any major assignments on this first class, but the next couple of classes, there will be a little bit of work that you need to do because you have to make some decisions on what we're going to do, what you want to do as far as your print on demand business. This course is designed to give you a pretty broad and thorough overview of actually running your own print on demand, whether it is doing digital products or printable, downloadable products, whether it is physical products that you want to sell or a combination of the two, or whether it is books of any form. This will give you a great overview, and we will actually do in-class exercises to get you through those activities. So emails with instructions or videos or templates will be distributed as needed. So there will be times in which I will send out an email to help you with a specific thing, or that particular video. There may be a video that's added to your membership site. We have another a VA that is making sure that she puts a lot of the amazing content and templates in the back office of the membership site. So she's been working on compiling lists for you all. So they'll be in your membership site. And if you participated in the summer print on demand, you'll also have access to those same documents and templates. So you'll get them in both places. If you have any questions throughout the class, you can email info@ecomsellersmastery.com. Again, info@ecomsellersmastery.com. You may want to mention that you're a student in this particular class, because again, if there's any other questions for any other class, I might get those emails. So we want to make sure that we know which class you're a part of. And if you want to schedule a coaching session, instead of just sending an email, you can definitely schedule a coaching session. All you have to do is go to Calendly/eCom Sellers Academy /20 minutes. Again, Calendly, ecomsellersacademy.com /20 minutes. And we will also email out this coaching link. We are transitioning to a new tool called TidyCal. So Calendly will be available. And then I will send out a reminder that we've transitioned from Calendly to TidyCal, but you can definitely, both of them are scheduling tools. But in any case, you can go ahead and schedule your sessions now. If there's anything specifically you want to talk about regarding your own personal print on demand business or your own personal journey when it comes to doing print on demand. So hopefully this information is helpful. If you have any questions about this overview, I'm going to unmute at the end, and you can ask me any questions that you want regarding today's class. Okay, so make a note of your questions. So here's an overview of our sessions. Session 1 is sort of the overview. And so I kind of give you a little bit of an overview what we're going to be doing for the next 90 days. And we're going to talk a little bit about that even more. Today, we're going to be talking about the print-on-demand platforms and some of the marketplaces, some of the vendors and suppliers that you'll hear me talk about. There are more than this that we're going to be covering. And so in your back office over the next 2 to 3 weeks, you're going to see some lists that have been uploaded into the print-on-demand template section. And it will be lists for the platforms and marketplaces, the vendors and suppliers, and also some of the tools and resources, because we are going to be focused on some specific tools and resources. And then today we are going to create our accounts. So we're going to create at a minimum 2 accounts today. You can create more than that, but today we're going to create 2 accounts. Then we're going to create free accounts today. So you're not going to have to spend any money unless you want to today. Session 2, we're going to talk about getting organized and setting goals. So we are going to be working through creating that schedule so that you can maintain your consistency in your print-on-demand business. We're going to be discussing copyright and trademark and branding, especially if you want to scale your print-on-demand business or you want to establish a brand. We're going to get into that. In addition to that, we'll be talking about the different methods of print on demand, which is printables and downloadables, the digital products, physical products, and book-related products. So we're going to get into those, take a deeper dive into all of those. So you'll have the opportunity to, decide where you want to focus, what your energy is. And then we'll also talk about some of the effort that's involved for the different types of print-on-demand methods and what your potential income potential is, because it can vary. So there's some pitfalls and there's some benefits. So we'll talk about that as well. In session 3, we're going to get into printables. We're going to do some product research and niche research. In addition to that, working on keywords. Depending on your platform, some of the platforms have tags. So Etsy definitely has tags, and we'll talk about tag research and how you can do that. We want to go through how to validate a niche, how to validate a product, so that you can determine and discern whether or not this is a product that you really want to invest time and energy in. And we're going to talk about some of the hottest niches when it comes to printables. In addition to that, I'll give you a list of product ideas. This is where you're definitely going to have some homework. You're going to make some decision on what you want to do in class. Everybody's going to have the opportunity to do what they want to some extent. I may say, okay, this is going to require a little bit more knowledge and or experience. So we're going to do something slightly more simplistic. We're not going to do everything simplistic, but we will, get something going. So we'll create a basic design. We're going to use a tool, and everyone in class will do that. In addition to that, we're going to create accounts for some of the other tools that are useful and helpful when it comes to doing printables and downloadables and digital products. So again, during that class 3, there may be some additional accounts. I'm always going to encourage you to start off with the free accounts. We're not going to talk about the paid ones, but if there are some paid, I'll definitely let you know there isn't a free version of this. This is a paid. And so this is what this tool can do for you. And this is what I recommend. And in most cases, like if there's an affiliate link, I'll share it. But in most cases, I'm just going to say, just go create the account. So then session 4, we're going to actually create your printable or your digital product. We're actually going to create it. We're going to create the listing, and we're going to create the images that go with the listing along with the listing itself. We're going to talk about how you can do bulk or variations on that particular listing. So how you do that so that when you come away from this class, you will be able to do that on your own if you decide you want to sell a bulk version of whatever that happens to be. We'll talk about ways you can optimize your listing, and then we're going to talk about order fulfillment. So at that point, you should be able to take those 2 classes standalone and expand your printable or digital downloads business significantly, based on all the stuff that we're going to be covering in classes 3 and 4, if that's where you want to go with your business. In class 5, we're going to get into physical products. So I will tell you, in class 3 and 4, those classes are probably going to be about an hour and a half long. I am not going to go beyond an hour and a half because I feel like that's too long, but they'll definitely be anywhere from an hour to an hour and a half max. And I will, if you've never taken any classes with me before, my goal is to make sure that everyone is at the same place. So I never like to leave anybody behind. I always want to make sure that everyone at least gets the exposure to do it themselves, because that's the one thing about buying courses that perturbs me to no end, that money or invest money into a course and then you don't get the opportunity, like you're just watching the video. And so we're going to do it in class. We're going to learn, and then we're going to learn and do, versus just watching a video and then not really executing. So I'm going to encourage you as often as possible to truly participate in this class, because that's where you're going to get the value. You're going to get the value from doing the thing. So just for 2 seconds, and jump on my high horse. I'll get off of it in just a second. It's kind of like fighter pilots. I think the movie Maverick came out this year or last year, whenever it came out. I can't really remember. I think it was last year. But anyway, so you can go through a flight simulator all you want to. Nothing like it. I'm sure it's fun and it's exciting, but you're really going to get the true experience by actually flying the plane or flying the helicopter or whatever. Same thing with learning how to drive a car. Like back in the day, for those who don't know, like they had little simulations, and you can go through and play and drive with your simulator. You can go and do that with video games and drive cars all day long. But it is completely different when you're actually on the road driving a car for real. It's a different experience. And so my goal is to actually get you to drive the car, to get you to create the design, to get you to actually do the work. That's always the goal. Okay. So back to session 5. Session 5 is we're going to go through and we're going to work on physical products. Physical products meaning anything from socks to sweatshirts to leggings to phone case covers. These are physical products that you're going to create these awesome designs or simplistic designs, and you're going to superimpose them on products. The great thing about that is with print on demand, you don't have to keep any inventory, which is what I love. Now, there are forms of print on demand where people are doing handmade and they actually have their own print screen at their house and all of that. We are not doing that. The version of print on demand that we're doing is hands off. Even with printables, when you create printable products, after you create it and you put it out there in the universe and let the universe decide to buy it, you are hands off from delivering that product to the customers. There are ways in which you can automate and get that out to the customer. You never have to do anything with it again, unless you want to. So same thing with your physical products. We're going to do product research and niche research. Then in addition to that, we're going to do some keyword research and of course, tag research that's applicable to some of the platforms that have, tag fields. In addition to that, we're going to do product validation. We're going to validate that these are products that people are willing to spend money on. Okay. And we're going to do some hot niche research on what those hot niches are for physical products. What are the hot things that people are buying? Then we're going to write out our physical product ideas. You may have some ideas for, what you want to put on a shirt or some leggings or what kind of design you want to do. And then we're going to talk about what you need to keep in mind with working with some of the vendors and suppliers and getting test products to you. So some of the tips that I'll give you about getting samples from a supplier. Some suppliers, it's easy to get samples from, and others you may have to take an extra step or two. Then we're going to create our accounts for the suppliers that we're going to be working with, the providers, the vendors that we're going to be working with, and we're going to connect them to the accounts that we're going to be creating today. So that way, again, another opportunity for you to automate your business. Next, in class 6, continuation of those physical products, we're going to actually create and develop a product. So we're going to create a design. That's really what we're going to do. I'm going to take our design, of course, we're going to place it onto a product. We're going to create some listing images for our products, and we're going to create the listing itself. So you need the images before you create the listing, because the images have to exist before you create the listing. Next, we're going to talk about, and I'll show you how to do bulk listings for bulk products. So if you want to sell multiples of this thing, let's say you want to sell 20, t-shirts, bridesmaid t-shirts. We're going to talk about how you do that. How you do custom orders. We're going to talk about how you do that. Variation listings, how you take that same thing and change the color of it to blue and the green and the purple and whatever else. And then we're going to talk about how to optimize that listing and order fulfillment. So by the time you finish class 5 and 6, if physical products is what you want to sell, you can take that and you can make it into anything that you want. Now, I'm combining the print and the physical for a reason, because some of you may have taken my bundles courses, and I believe that there's an amazing bundle opportunity by taking printables and physical products and putting them together. So maybe your creative juices will be stirred and you will come up with an idea that you think is going to work, and that's fine. Write it down. Whatever ideas you come up with, always make a note of it. If there's a quote that you came up with that you want to put on a t-shirt, and go write it down so we can always go and do that research and make sure you can use it. And that way you can go and create whatever product you want to create with it. All right, the next thing is session 7. Session 7, we're going to get into books, all things books. That's ebooks. And those are physical books, paperback books, spiral bound books, hardcover books. We're going to get into books. Now, I will say this, session 7 and 8, 100% focused on books. If you intend to write a novel, you will not be done with your novel in class 7 and 8, unless you've already been working with some AI tools that are going to help you to write the whole book. Now, if you already do that, that's fine. But if you have not been working with AI tools to write the entire book, you will not have your book done by the end of class 7 and 8. But we will do something simplistic. So we can do anything like, paperback books. We can do organization books, planners. We can do something low content books. And we'll talk about, if you want to do something like coloring books or puzzle books, we'll talk about how you do that and how you could potentially scale it. So in class 7, we're going to be doing product research and niche research. What are the hot products? the keyword research, the tag research that needs to be done. In addition to that, we're going to validate the products. And, do you want to spend this energy on it or not? And whether or not it's in the hot niches, and what are the hot niches when it comes to books? We're going to be looking at and writing down our book related product ideas. So you're going to nail down what your idea is. And we're going to talk about working with the different vendors and testing the products. And then we're going to create our account and we're going to connect it. Now, I will tell you, when it comes to print books, like, you're going to spend some money with physical products for sure, but print books, you're definitely going to spend some money. And you just need to be prepared for that. So, if you need to set aside some money in between each class, like, you might want to set aside $25 at a minimum. That's what I would suggest between the classes. So every other class, maybe $25 if you're going to order some samples, especially for books. I feel like book samples sometimes cost a little bit more than other samples, but it just depends on what type of book you put together. So in class 8, we're going to go ahead and create the product in the class. So that class is more than likely going to be at least an hour and a half. If you already have your content together, you'll have that homework that you got to work on our class 7. So I want you to mentally prepare yourself. If you want to do a book and there's a specific type of book, you might want to start pulling together the actual content that goes into the book now and continue working on it all the way up to class 7, especially if you want to do a novel of some type or some type of picture book for kids or storybook or whatever. But if you're wanting to do something simple like a low content book, then you can definitely do that in class in session 8. So I just want to set the expectation so that we're clear on what the effort or the energy that you're going to have to invest in doing the work. So you're going to develop the product. We're going to create the listing images, and then we're going to create the listing itself. There's always going to be create the listing images first, and then you're going to create the listing. We're going to talk about doing bulk variations, and there are some times where there's bulk variations, like you might be doing coloring books for the summer or something like that. And if that's the case, or workbooks, first grade, second grade, third grade, like some of you are educators. And so you can actually create and brand your own workbooks for kids to do, so you can reduce the regression in kids over the summer. That's entirely doable. So in any case, bulk and variation type listings, and then optimizing the listing. Sorry about that. Optimizing the listing. And then order fulfillment, how to automate the fulfillment of the orders. The other thing about books is there is a way in which you can sell your books on the global market. So when you're looking at, parents buy workbooks like first grade, second grade, third grade workbooks over the summer. And if you want your books to be available in a much broader market than just the platforms that you happen to be selling on, we're going to see where you go to set that up in this class, like in classes 7 and 8. So again, if you want to sell on your platforms or you want to sell globally, in 7 and 8, we'll be covering that. All right. So then in class 9, we're transitioning to some of the administrative, the operations, and the marketing or traffic related activities. So some of the follow-up on your order fulfillment, how to engage some of the vendors and the suppliers to figure out what's going on, what's happening, staying in contact with them, being able to check where your orders are, providing customer service to your customers, setting that expectation of how long it might take to get the order fulfilled and things like that. Inventory management, so that you know what your listings are, because if you get to a place where you're using like AI to create bulk listings, maybe you're creating 100 listings a day, and yes, there are people out there using AI to create 50 to 100 listings a day, then you got to make sure you know who you're working with and what's been automated and things like that, so you can always just check to see if there's a kink in the process at any time. Tracking and knowing your numbers, or even just creating your numbers, knowing what your profit margins are. How much money do I want to make? What are your goals? What are your targets? All of that, we're going to be covering that in class 9. And things that you can do to increase your profits, we'll be covering that in class 9. And then outsourcing to a virtual assistant, having a VA do some of the work for you. So that class most likely will be at least an hour and a half, because just going through knowing your numbers is at least a 15-minute discussion and setting your targets, and then talking about VAs and how you use them and vet them is at least another 15 to 30-minute discussion. So it'll probably be at least an hour and a half. So just gauging and telling you in advance how long that class may be. If we can get it down to an hour, we'll shoot for that, but it may be an hour and a half. Session 10, we're going to continue that whole administrative operations and marketing. And we're going to be talking about organic traffic and some other selling strategies to get more eyeballs on your listings and to get more traffic to your listings. We're going to talk about paid traffic, paid ads, campaigns, all of that. And if you want to do that, that's fantastic. There are platforms that you can do paid or put on your paid promotions on your listings, or you can use like Google ads, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, all of that stuff to do paid. So again, figuring out which way you want to go, cross-posting, using social media, any of those. So there's cross-listing tools like Vendu and List Perfectly. And then of course, listing on your items on multiple platforms, including making some lovely TikToks of some of your products. Because again, that's another way to get organic traffic to your listings. And then how to manage multiple accounts and selling on multiple platforms. Sometimes that can be challenging, and we're going to talk about some tips on how to do that effectively. It's going to require you to be extremely organized. And if you're not that organized, my suggestion is going to be to keep it simple and not to have like 10 different accounts with, a bunch of different vendors. Like, I'm going to ask you to keep it simple, because it may become cumbersome to manage and to support if you're not really sure. So we're going to start on one platform using one supplier to do the work that we're going to be doing for these activities. But some of you have a little more experience, and so you may decide to do multiple. So we're just going to throw some suggestions out there if you have the bandwidth and you have the skill set to be able to do that. We're also going to talk about bundle opportunities and subscriptions. Again, I think with selling all three printable products, there's some amazing subscription opportunities there where, again, you don't have to touch the products yourself. You can work with the vendors and then work with the 3PL that can put everything together for you, package it up and send it to your customer all in your own packaging and with your own brand. And we're going to talk about what to do after the next 90 days, because at that point, we will have gone through 12 weeks. So it's all about getting organized, setting some goals for the rest of the remaining quarters. What are you going to do over the summer? What are you going to do for third quarter and for fourth quarter? So we're going to establish some goals in that class. And that class is probably going to be at least an hour and a half. Then last but not least, the artificial intelligence class. So this class, I feel like, might be 2 hours. I hate to say that. But AI ideas, that's going to be, I actually write out my class outline. I'm one of those nerds. So I write out the class outline and I estimate how long you're going to talk about this particular product or this thing. And then how long does it take to do the demonstration for it? So with AI, because sometimes there's intricacies to it and sometimes it's not, there's like not much to it. Some of it is fast, but then getting everyone on the same page and actually executing may be the thing. And so just wanted you to be prepared. We're going to go through and talk about different products that you could potentially create using AI. And we're going to talk about the sites that you can use to create those designs and to create the listings and what integration tools are available so that you can automate some of your business, which is amazing to do. Using AI to create content, to create the listing itself. So the text for the title and for the body of the listing, using AI to create your graphics so that if you feel like you want to stand out a little bit more, you can use AI to create your graphics and your designs, and using AI to create your listings. Yeah, you can use AI to actually create your listings for you, which is really interesting. And we're going to talk about how you do that and how you set up automation. So each one of those and the activities that are associated with it could take anywhere from 5 to 15 or more minutes so that we can keep the class together. I just want you to know that at the end of the day, like setting up an automated business, if you're a person that wants to scale your print on demand business, AI can definitely help you do that. It can. Can you run your print on demand business without AI? Absolutely. And can you run your print on demand business after I refer to it as rinse and repeat. So you go through, you create your first design, you get your listing up, and you get that experience under your belt. And then at some point, you start to get faster at creating listings. You get faster at creating designs. You get faster at all of this. You get faster at sharing the cross listings. And so before you know it, like you've created 10 print on demand products and designs, and you've got them all listed within an hour and 15 minutes. So there's a way to do that, and that's you doing it manually, believe it or not. Well, AI can take that in 5x it or 10x it, which is completely nuts. So if it's something you're interested in, I do encourage you to plug into that class. Be prepared that it might be 2 hours. It may be an hour, who knows? Just depends. That one's going to be a little hard to gauge because it's going to be whether, we got to keep everybody together to some extent. I don't want to lose anybody, but we're going to try to keep that one moving. So we'll see what happens. Okay. So before I go on, I am going to unmute everybody for just a second. And I want to see if you have any questions. And then we'll talk about today. So I'm hitting the unmute slowly. Just give me a second. All right. So I've allowed everyone to talk. And I want to be able to answer any questions you have about the overview and the expectations that I've outlined for sessions 1 through 11 for the next 13 weeks. And you can talk. So you're unmuted. If you're saying something, I can't hear you. Hello? Hold on. I don't see your little thing moving, so I'm guessing you're not talking. I'm guessing. Sound, share sound. Is anyone else talking?
No.
Okay, I can hear you.
This is Sharon.
All right, so yes, I did get everybody unmuted correctly. So if you wanted to say something, you can definitely ask your questions now before we move on. Otherwise, we will move on. Are there any questions I can address for what the expectations is for the next 11 weeks? All right, I will move on. Okay, so today, since we've already gone over the overview, now this is what we're doing next. We're going to talk about some of the platforms. I'm not going to get into all the platforms. Like I said, we're going to get you a list, and that list will be uploaded to the back office so that you can go through it. And my VA is working on that right now. Then vendors and suppliers, we're going to talk about some of the vendors and suppliers. I'm going to focus on the ones we're actually going to be using in class. And then the tools and resources. And then we're going to talk about the accounts that you need to create. And we are done for today's class afterwards. So the first one is the platforms. So one of the platforms we're actually going to be doing or using in class is Etsy. Okay. So if you have not created an Etsy account, we'll send out information on how to create your Etsy account. I want to encourage you to do that. Otherwise, we can do it now in class, but Etsy is one of the platforms, it's a print on demand platform, and you can sell all of the products that we're going to be creating in this class. You can sell all of them on Etsy. Amazon, you can sell your products on Amazon as well. If you already have an Amazon account, Amazon's a great one to create your listings on. The thing that you need to be mindful of on Amazon and eBay and Walmart is that there is a level of shipping expectation, and with print on demand, depending on your method of e-commerce, you're going to potentially run into some delays. You're not going to be able to ship next day. So that is the one thing that you want to be mindful of when it comes to creating your listings on those platforms. So your processing time, I would encourage you, and we'll cover it again, put some padding on that if you are already selling on Amazon. If you're not already selling on Amazon and you want to, you can definitely create your Amazon account, and there's going to be some Amazon checks and balances that they're going to go through for new sellers on their platform. And Amazon does have a promotion going on right now for new sellers that have never sold on Amazon, or if you like your account's been dormant or inactive and you want to go back to selling on Amazon, like there's a whole promotion thing going on. So I did not remember to bring that link, but I will bring it for our next class so that you'll have it, or I can email it out. But there is a promotion that they are working to keep sellers on the platform because they know that several sellers have left the platform. And then eBay, again, shipping your stuff in a certain time frame is really what they want. So with Amazon and eBay and even Walmart, some of your printables are not potentially going to be, they would prefer them to be the physical products like t-shirts and hats and socks and leggings and stuff like that. So your downloadables, you may not see listings at all. Like on Amazon, you're not going to see that as a regular like listing. It's going to be under some other obscure category that people have to find, or they already know that that's where that product is. eBay, you can list some printables and downloadables. You can find them on that platform. Walmart, I don't believe that I've seen any at all, and I wouldn't even know what category they would go under, but you can sell your physical products on Walmart. Again, you just want to be mindful of what they want for the shipping times. So for some sellers, sometimes they order inventory so they have it on hand. Others just go with suppliers that they know that they can get that shipment out faster rather than later. And we're going to see this when we actually get to physical products. Some of the providers will actually say, our processing time is this, and we ship within X number of days. So you're going to see that and you'll go, oh, okay, that makes sense. So I can probably use them as a supplier. Facebook Marketplace, you can definitely do print on demand products there. Again, downloadables is not their jam. They don't prefer that. So before you try to put a downloadable or printable on that platform, again, go see if they already exist. If they don't exist, then there's no need for you to even invest the energy of trying to create that listing, because it more than likely will get taken down. That's the first thing that I would tell you, is like, before you even decide you want to try and do printables or downloadables. So your best bet for printables and downloadables is definitely Etsy. There's a couple of other platforms in which you can do those on, but the majority of the time it's going to be Etsy is going to be your biggest platform. Others are going to be smaller platforms that you can put those on. Merch by Amazon. Now, Merch by Amazon is twofold. It is Amazon, but you're using their merch service. You're getting a referral fee for creating your listings and putting it on their platform. You do have to get approved to sell or to be able to do merch by Amazon. So there's a difference between creating your print on demand designs and putting it on Amazon versus having a merch account and creating it through merch. And I will tell you, when you first create your merch account, there's going to be some limitations and some restrictions on the volume count that you can do with merch, but it is a option if you decide that you want to try Merch by Amazon. There are some people that have made a lot of money with Merch by Amazon because, of course, Amazon's going to promote their own stuff. They are. That's a fact, Jack. They're going to promote their own stuff. So does it hurt you if you want to create a Merch by Amazon account? Redbubble, you can sell your products on Redbubble, and they're not the only ones, but Redbubble is one of the platforms that is a print on demand platform where you can upload your print on demand designs, and you can sell your print on demand designs to other people. If they use it, you get paid a referral fee. Same thing with Zazzle. Again, you can get paid from the platform itself by other people buying your designs. And there's a few other platforms from a marketplace standpoint, but we're talking physical products, and we're talking like if you want to create a spiral bound notebook or journal, like you can do that on Zazzle and you can sell it there. KDP is 100% about books. You got ebooks, paperback books, and hardback books. And I literally been working on KDP today, all day, earlier today. But KDP is also Amazon. KDP stands for Kindle Desktop Publishing, Kindle Desktop Publishing. And so it is Amazon. Amazon owns Kindle. And so you're selling on Amazon again. So within the Amazon ecosphere, you got regular Amazon, which you can sell your books directly on regular Amazon. You can also upload your books onto KDP. So the reason you would do that is the same reason you would do merch by Amazon, which is Amazon loves to showcase their own stuff. Amazon loves to get the sale. Amazon loves to get the buy box. So they're going to promote their things that are in organically. They're going to promote it themselves. That's on merch by Amazon, and they're going to promote anything that is uploaded to KDP. Like they're going to promote their own stuff. So sometimes it just needs to exist in order for you to be able to make some level of money. I'm not saying that there's no effort involved, because there will be some effort, but I will say from a priority and presence standpoint, if you put the same paperback book on regular Amazon versus printing it through, because they are the printer when you're using KDP, they are going to print it itself and they're going to ship it for you. So if you're creating a listing to put on Amazon and maybe Lulu is your printer and the supplier, then that's different. Amazon is going to give their KDP products more importance and presence and more organic traffic than just a basic book listing that's on Amazon, unless you're like a very popular, well-known with a popular, well-known publishing house or a popular, well-known author. Otherwise, it's just going to be like, okay, you got to drive your own traffic. That's what they'll do. So putting it on KDP can get you some more action to your listing. The next is vendors and suppliers. So through the exercises that we're going to be doing, we are going to definitely create accounts with Printful and Printify. Definitely. We're going to create accounts with them. We're also going to create accounts with KDP and Lulu. So we're creating accounts with those vendors. Those are the 4 vendors we're going to work through this exercise, so that you have the opportunity when you're doing physical products, Printful and Printify, or when you're doing books, KDP and Lulu, so you have that experience. We may do merch by Amazon, but again, everybody has to be approved, and merch by Amazon decides how long it takes you to get approved. Whereas KDP doesn't take you that long to get approved. Like it just happens. Like, well, and I'll show you what I mean. Like I may have to start with a brand new account in order to show you, but yes, it just happens. All you have to do is just go there and log in and start uploading, and it's very fast. Some of the others, again, this is not all of them by any stretch of the imagination. There's over 100 and probably close to 300 suppliers that you could potentially use when it comes to print-on-demand suppliers and vendors. Why? Because you can do print-on-demand jewelry, you can do print-on-demand watches, you can do print-on-demand like earrings, you can do print-on-demand so many different things. So the fact that you have all these opportunities, baseballs, basketballs, bowling balls, bowling ball bags, like you have so many print-on-demand suppliers and vendors you can go with. We're going to stick with these 2. When you work with other platforms, there's going to be some similarities. Just like if you're selling on Amazon, there's going to be some fields, like every Amazon listing, every Walmart listing, every eBay listing, every single one of them has a title and a description and some photos, a price, and how it's going to be shipped. Those are the 5 things that are common. How you get to those fields is different on every platform. So when it comes to print-on-demand suppliers, again, there's going to be a way in which to upload your design. There's going to be a product in which you want to put that design on. And so again, there's going to be a method to the way that they do things, but there's going to be some very common characteristics and common fields across them. I'm not going to say all the platforms are the same, because they're not, but there are going to be some differences, but how they work is going to be similar. There's going to be something that is similar or related in some kind of way. So Printful and Printify, and then KDP and Lulu. If you want to take a look at any of the others, you could definitely go over and look at T-Launch. If you have a Merch by Amazon account, fantastic. Zazzle, Redbubble, Threadable, Guten, what is that? Gelato. I actually kind of like them. I don't know why I don't have them on this list, but Gelato is probably another one of those that we may actually play with because you can do international, a lot more international. So we'll talk about the difference between Printful and Printify a little bit later. Not today though. So tools and resources. We are going to create a Canva account. So we're going to create an Etsy account. We're going to create a Canva account. Creating your Etsy account is free. There's no cost. You're not going to spend any money doing that. You can also create a free Canva account. Just know with Canva, you're going to have some limitations with the free account, and then you can transition to the paid. If you decide to create a Canva account, I'm going to encourage you to create the annual account. I'm just going to tell you, it's going to be so worth it because then you don't have to pay the monthly fees. I think when I did the summer class, it was like, gosh, I'm paying somewhere around $6.49 a month or something like that, which I wasn't even paying that much, which is crazy. I pay less than that. I think I pay like $4.99 because I pay the annual. And so when you pay the annual way, it breaks down to like some low amount. And I'm grandfathered because I've had my account for, I don't know, like 4 years, 5 years, whatever it is. So I'm grandfathered at this rate and it's different. So we're going to create free Canva accounts. We're going to do that today. The other tools in which you can use to create designs and or graphics are PicMonkey, BeFunky, Stencil, Creative Fabrica. I have Creative Market here. I would encourage people to look at, we're going to talk about Creative Fabrica. I don't know why I don't have that here, but when we get into physical products, I'm definitely bringing that one up. And if you want, you can order designs, have designs given to you by Upwork or once you take the AI class, maybe you want to sell your designs on Upwork and let other people buy designs from you. Just a thought. Write it down if you like the idea. If you want to make some extra cash, trust me, the AI tools are going to just like, I think it's going to blow your mind because it blows my mind. Like I'm always thrown off by just how insane AI is. But anyway, and then you can hire somebody to do designs for you, like through Upwork, or you can use some of the other graphic websites to create designs for you as well. The other tool that we're going to create accounts for at some point, eRank, is going to be one of them. There's a free version of eRank, and then Keywords Everywhere. We're going to use that because it will help us regardless of which platform we sell on. It'll give us some ideas for keywords. We're also going to go through some organic keyword research steps so that you can, analyze a listing and figure out which keywords you want to extract out of that. Okay. So for next class, you can do it now. If you already have them, fantastic. I need you to make sure that you have a Canva account and that you have an Etsy account. If you don't have an Etsy account, you need to create an Etsy account. Again, we'll send out the instructions on how to do that. If you've never done it, it is very, very simple. And a Canva account, and you can do a free Canva account. So let me come out of here. And so I don't know if I'm logged into Etsy or not. I really don't. So I'm going to go over to Etsy.com. And when I go to Etsy.com, if I'm logged in, I'll log out. I'm not logged in. So when you go to Etsy.com, if you click on create it, if you click on sign in, you can register to create your account. You want to make sure that here's a couple of things you're going to need if you're going to create your account. And you can always change the name, but what email address you're going to use when you create this account, when you click on register, and then give it a password. After you do that, you need to have an idea of what the name of the store is, and you need to have your banking information, because whenever you create a listing, there's 20 cents a listing. And when you have sales, so they want to know where to send the money. So your banking information is going to be required to complete the setup of this account. Again, you're going to have some level of banking information available to complete the setup of the account if you've never created an account with Etsy before. Okay. And then with Canva, I think I'm logged in, but we'll go ahead and go for it because I was working with VAs earlier. So let me log out. Okay, so when you go to canva.com, you can click on sign up, and they're going to ask you to sign up how you want to sign up. I never use like Facebook or Google or anything like that. I never wanted to auto use my other logins to sign in. So I create my own email and have an email for that. So for me, my businesses, I have a singular Gmail account that I use to run my businesses, my personal, and then I have one for eCom sellers. So it makes it a whole lot easier. So when I'm logging into business accounts for eCom sellers, I will just use that Gmail account. If I'm doing my own personal, I log in with my own. But anyway, so you can continue with your email account, and then you're going to indicate what your email is and click continue. And they're going to ask you some questions about pricing. So I don't know what the prices are these days. Let me get past this message. Come on. Okay, so there is a free account that I can choose. Oh, compare prices. Hold on, I was trying to get there. Okay. Hopefully, there we go. All right, so if I compare prices now, because I don't know what the prices are these days, we can change it to monthly. Okay, so the pro account is $12.99, but you can sign up for the free for right now. And with the free, you'll have 250,000 free templates. You have 100 types of social media, like graphics and designs you can create. You have 1 million photos. You can invite others to check out your designs. You'll have 5 gigs worth of storage. So again, start with free. I'm not trying to have you spend any money. And if you want to upgrade to the paid, you'll have the opportunity to do so. So I have a pro account, and it works great for me, but I don't pay $12.99 at all. Like I pay $4.99, which is crazy. And I only pay that annually. So that's what I want to encourage you to do. I need you to create a Canva account, and I need you to create an Etsy account. And we will send out instructions on how to create your Etsy account if what I went through was too fast. And those are the things you need to have ready for our next class. So with that, I'm going to open it up for questions, and I will take whatever questions you have right now about everything that I covered. Let me unmute. I think we have another person that came in. So let's unmute you. And you can ask me whatever question you want to ask me based on what I went through. Okay. So all you have to do is just speak and the sound should come through.
I'm wondering if I already have an Etsy account, but it's not a seller's account. It's just a buyer's account. Do I need another account, a seller's account?
I have a separate account because that's what I want. But you can choose to have a separate, like on my eBay account, I have a separate selling account. It's your call. So if you want to create a separate account that you just want to use for selling your product, you can do that.
Speaking up.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Anyone else have a question? And you're opened up, so you can ask whatever questions. Okay. All right. So I hope this information was helpful. We did not go over an hour. I'm so proud. And I know this was high level. It was very high level, but I hope this is helpful. Larry will upload this video over the next 2 days. And let me go ahead and put in the chat the link to the coaching call, so that way, if you want to schedule a one-on-one, if it's not something you want to talk about in the group, you can definitely schedule a session with me, and I'd be happy to talk to you about your business. If you haven't ever scheduled a session with me, like I think most everybody's like, that was helpful, but I try to be helpful. I really do, more than you know. Okay, so let me go ahead and put this in the chat, and you can just grab it and use it to you can use it to schedule a session if it's something you don't want to talk about in front of everybody. And trust me, it's whatever you want to do. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. It's up to you. Okay. All right. So I'm looking forward to session 2. We're going to get into some of the things that we're going to be working on. And then the action is in session 3 and section 4. So I'm looking forward to making some products. And if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. I'm here. Okay. With that, we are going to say good night for now, or goodbye for now, and I will talk with you in our next session in session 2.
All right, good night.
Good night.